Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage, where we're taking a look at the Wolverine Trilogy of films.
Yes!
Has there ever been a series of movies where they get steadily better?
Or like a trilogy that gets better? I don't know. It's a real reversal of fortune, isn't it?
I mean, most franchises, you wouldn't give them this opportunity. If they release this, like apropos of nothing, just out of the blue, no. You don't get another one. Bloodshot.
Whoa. You know, in the era in which we currently exist, if a Netflix released a first movie like this, they wouldn't do two more. They might do two more.
They might do one more if they filmed two at the same time, Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
I'm thinking about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, aren't I? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, leave a like because we're, of course, talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine.
That's right.
The first in what was supposed to be a series of X-Men prequel origin movies.
This was the big one. This is the first one that's going to kick off the whole era, single character origin movies. To some degree, we got it in another form. We got X-Men First Class, which gave us, the origins of Magneto and Professor X. We sort of got, subsequently, we've gotten very small origins for characters multiple times. We've had Cyclops' origin 2 or 3 times, I guess, to some degree. I mean, we get some of it in this.
True. He was in a jail and a school, and then he ran away. Then he ran to a helicopter.
He's a tortured soul. The true indignity of having to write out 100 lines as a high school student in your mid to late 20s, you know?
Oh my God.
But anyway, I've got some notes here. Sometimes I write notes, sometimes I don't write notes. Sometimes I lose my notes, but then I find them because this one says, I search for, I can't believe I have to watch this again. That's my first note of this.
Is that because we've done a movie commentary for it already?
And we've watched it in our own private time.
That's true.
And we've probably talked about it on our podcast, The Weekly Planet. We've talked about, here's the best and worst superhero, here's the best and worst X-Men movies. Let's talk about the X-Men chronology. Let's talk about the timeline. What's canonical and what's not.
There's ever been a trilogy where the trilogy gets better?
I'm sick to death of it, James. I'm like a man on his deathbed slowly realizing that he's seen the faces of his co-workers more than the faces of his children. But in this case, my co-workers is the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, and my children is all my cool jackets that I can't wear currently because I'm in this little room.
You're not wrong. You can bring your jackets.
I could wear a cool jacket, couldn't I?
So the way this happened was during the filming of X-Men 2.
Yes.
They went, there's a bit of X-Men Origin Wolverine in this because you see the facility, he has some flashbacks, you visit it, he has a big punch-up with a lady Wolverine, Lady Striker? Strike Force?
No, none of those.
What's her name?
Lady Deathstroke.
Lady Deathstroke. And
I'm going to let that one slide. Tell him how wrong he is in the comments, folks.
I was going to say you'll let that slide, but nobody else will.
That's right.
So the initial idea was, let's tell a story set in Japan before the X-Men movies, and we'll do like the Silver Samurai and a love interest and all of that. If that sounds familiar, that's the next movie. The studio said, no. Let's take it right back to Bone Claws. So Hugh Jackman's production company Seed Productions got on board for this also. They've done 2 movies, this and the movie Deception, which is also apparently a bad movie. I haven't seen it. According to David Benioff, who wrote this.
Oh, one of the guys, one of the Game of Thrones guys.
One of the GOT bros.
Yeah.
I mean, this also happened during the writer's strike, so a lot of this was thrown out. The original script was influenced by the Wolverine-centered comics.
Wolverine-centered?
Yeah.
What do you think he...
Sweat.
I mean, Sweat, obviously, yeah.
The Woods.
Yeah. Young Wolverine, though, probably like Potpourri.
Oh, yeah, he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because he's a fancy lad.
So it was the Wolverine comics from 1982, Weapon X from 1991, and the Origin Wolverine comic from 2001. Gavin Hood, of course, directed this.
You say, of course, like anybody remembers.
Of course.
I had to look it up.
He was handpicked by Hugh Jackman, but he was battling with executives the entire time. One of the most famous stories was that an executive by the name of Tom Rothman had a set repainted from darker to lighter because he didn't like it. Richard Donner had to get flown out. His wife, Lauren Schuler Donner, produced this. Richard Donner directed the first 2-ish Superman movies.
Sure,
It's a whole story. We've talked about them. So he was flown in to ease tensions. It was a nightmare.
Hey, everybody, shut up. I directed Superman. And everybody shut up and settle down. Go to your corners. It's me, Richard Donner. Back, settle, easy. Hugh Jackman, easy. Executives, easy.
Apparently Hugh Jackman, very nice guy on set. Everybody loves him. Everybody talks fondly of him. How do you feel, though, about explaining Wolverine's origin? And not just here, but in the comics also.
I've never liked it.
Yeah?
I like the idea that he's a man with a mysterious past. He exists now, and we see snippets of his past and some of it.
Snickets.
Oh, Snickers.
No.
Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Peanuts, protein.
They are good. I like them.
Yeah, it's one of my faves.
Yeah, yeah.
Mars bar too much. I had a Mars bar recently. I'm like, oh, that's too sugary. Ooh. Ooh.
This is a man who's also, I should point out, this will go on the extended, is drinking a giant Monster Energy juice.
I'm drinking a Monster juice. I'm drinking a Mango Loco.
And as I said, the healthiest and most organic thing in that is the can.
It's got the caffeine of 5 coffees. I've had 2 sips of it and I am off my rocker,
It's got to give you the strength of half a man.
That's right.
In about 20 minutes.
It's my Weapon X. Anyway, I prefer the idea that he is here now and we don't know what happened. He's got fragments of memories and we don't know what's real and what has been manufactured by the Weapon X program and etc. And you don't
need to know he's a fancy little boy.
No, throughout the 80s and the 90s, in X-Men comic books and in his own solo series, we got little bits of it. To me, that was interesting. And again, I kind of feel like, and I've said this before, but I kind of feel like there is no origin that the actual comic book creators can give us or the movie producers can give us that is as interesting and intriguing as we can imagine for ourselves.
As nothing,
exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
We know he was part of the Weapon X program, and he was part of like a secret strike force.
There's that imagery where he's wearing like the computer on his head, and
he's got a computer on his head,
all the cords and whatever. That's all you need.
We've connected his brain directly to a virtual boy.
He walked into a wall. I think we're on the right track.
That's right. And we know he was in World War II, and maybe he met Captain America, and that's kind of intriguing and interesting. And I think
that's enough.
I think maybe that's enough. Although that being said, I think the opening montage of this movie is very good.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It makes you think this might be a good movie for a second.
I'll tell you what, and you may have this information here, but people may not remember this movie was leaked. An incomplete word print of this movie was leaked several months before release, and it came out on the internet. And I remember I acquired a copy of this probably through Hugh Jackman sent it to us.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman sent it to us.
It was all above board. No, I think you probably sent me a copy. And
I never saw the work print of this.
Okay, well then
don't try to implicate me in your crimes.
All right, fine then. And I got it. I purchased a burnt DVD out of a car boot. Anyway, I watched the opening montage of this. It still had incomplete visual effects and etc. But I remember watching this at the time and going, this is so incredible. I am not going to watch the rest of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait and I'm going to spend ticket money at the box office and I'm going to watch this in cinemas in a few months' time as it is meant to be seen, because I have faith that based on this montage that this is going to be a really good movie. And it isn't.
No, it's a dreadful movie. And you know what I think one of the problems with it is? It's supposed to explore like the psychology of Logan, like is he an animal, is he a man? Like how did he become this way? But he's just a bloke who's angry sometimes. Like who cares? All the behind the scenes stuff is like we want to see the evolution of how he becomes the guy that shows up in the first X-Men. But even though he like lost all his memories and gets the claws, like he's had physical changes, his personality is identical. He's exactly the same. He doesn't go on a journey. Right. He doesn't go on a journey or an arc. The journey, I guess, for him is he was tricked for a bit.
Yep, that's right. His friend, he had a friend, he was a good friend for 100 years, and then...
It was his brother, maybe.
Maybe his brother, and then his friend... His friend went a little too far. What I did, one thing...
He took too long to figure out he went too far. Like decades of him like murdering innocent people and being like, hey, don't do that. Took him to Vietnam. Took him right up to Vietnam to figure it out.
That's right.
Come on, man.
Wow, you've been killing everybody. You've been killing people on their side. You've been killing people on our side. You're just swinging wildly and going, woo, I love murder. And, after about 50, 60 years of that, I'm starting to question your motives, Sabretooth. Another note that I had about the opening montage that I'd not thought about until now is, do you want to know how much paperwork it would have taken to get them assigned to the same platoon every time for like 100 years?
Yeah, that's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, I'd like to sign up to fight in Vietnam. You have to bring my friend as well. He's my brother, I think. We gotta be on the same team the whole time.
We're gonna fight back to back.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm here to stop him killing indiscriminately. Yes, he is going to do that. Yes, we will take this gun and bayonet. Yes.
And the thing about Logan is, He doesn't make any decisions that are deemed questionable. There's no grey area in him.
I mean, he kills his dad. He kills his fake... No, he kills his real dad, doesn't he?
But he does it by accident. After he kills his dad, his personality is established.
Great choice on fake dad, by the way. That's an Australian actor whose name I'm going to get
Brian something?
Brian
Peter
Singer.
O'Brien?
It's probably Peter O'Brien. He looks like a Peter O'Brien, doesn't
he? Does he? Yeah.
Yeah. But, great choice. I know him best from the Alexei Sayle sketch, Psycho Ward 11.
Yeah?
There'll be no clips of that available.
No?
But here it is.
It is Peter O'Brien.
Terrific, I love him.
Yeah. So Sabretooth, he was offered a muscle suit, Liev Schreiber.
Okay.
Much like...
but instead he was like, I'll just keep my shirt on the whole time.
Yeah. He's got some muscles.
Yeah.
Because the Juggernaut from the previous movie, Vinnie Jones, wore a muscle suit, and he's like, that's humiliating. I'll just work out a little bit. I like his casting.
Yeah.
He does some good killing. There's a moment where he grabs Will.i.am's spine. Yeah. He's trying to teleport. I like that.
He improv that on the day.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there's all sorts of minor mutant characters showing up. There's Kevin Durand as Blob. There's William I. Am as Kestrel. There's Dominic Monaghan as Chris Bradley.
Great.
Just beautiful stuff.
I like how he transitioned from like Special Forces guy to just a guy working at a carnival.
Do you appreciate his jacket?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
Thought as a jacket guy, you'd appreciate his jacket. I mean, I guess you don't like all jackets? Is that
well, I don't. But I mean, you'd think he'd be happier. He got to retire and spend more time with his jacket.
Yeah. He's got a girlfriend who tells a really long story about the moon.
But she
Silver, dies.
Yeah, Silver Fox.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff. And of course, Taylor Kitsch is in this as Remy LeBeau.
I'd forgotten he was in this.
I forgot he was in it as much as he's in it.
I have a note here that says, I'd honestly forgotten that Gambit canonically exists in the Fox X-Men universe to the extent anyone is canonical in the Fox X-Men universe. You know what I mean? Where do you go after this? Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But his stuff and the stuff with the Blob feels very video gamey. You're not getting past me. I'm not telling the information until you beat me up.
I have a note here that says, at about the hour mark of this movie, it just becomes a series of fetch quests and comical misunderstandings. Like, oh, he said bub, but you thought he said blob. You better fight.
Yeah.
Oh, Wolverine has dog tags, so he's probably exactly the same guy as that other guy you know who has dog tags who kidnap you and experiment on you. Better fight. Stupid.
It is stupid.
It's stupid. It's a stupid movie.
It's a stupid movie. I don't like it, Mason.
Yeah.
The effects are bad. It's not just the claws. The claws are atrocious in this.
Yeah. The bone claws are fine.
Yeah.
But
I think they're mostly real, though.
Yeah, but the idea being, I think, that when...
They're new and shiny.
That he gets his new adamantium claws, and so they're fresh and shiny. Yeah. But they look... awful.
You see them, like the practical ones, like on set for the behind the scenes stuff, and they don't look that much better. They're way too shiny and way too smooth. But there's other stuff, like there's a part where Sabretooth throws Wolverine into a car. It looks really bad. There's a moment where Sabretooth scratches the hood of a car, Gavin Hood. That looks really bad. There's a bunch of half-finished or just not very good special effects in this that I do not care for. And, of course, there's Deadpool.
There is a cool truck flip, though.
I
think there's a moment where
truck in a flip.
There's a moment where Wolverine he cuts down the side of a Humvee and he flips it towards a helicopter. I thought that looked pretty good.
And then the explosion happens.
Oh, he doesn't look at it because he's so cool.
Doesn't need to look at it. That's right, He's seen an explosion before.
There's also some really bad ADR where Agent Zero taunts him before Wolverine kills him, and it's just it's no good.
Yeah, they changed that. Wolverine was supposed to just stab him, but they're like, well, this has to be PG-13, so he'll light him on fire and he'll have a big explosion.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, but Deadpool. So Ryan Reynolds was told, because he had already signed up for a Deadpool movie or role, that listen, we're going to do this with or without you. And
we're going to you too, yeah?
Yes, that's right. Without you. Again, during the writer's strike.
We'll make Deadpool with or without you.
Good song?
Yep.
Yeah. This was also during the writer's strike, so Ryan Reynolds has said that like he showed up on the day and the script said Deadpool was there and he talks fast. So all that's written and improv'd by him.
Okay.
Also,
he's got his two guys, a girl, and a pizza place improv skills.
He knows what
he's
a
doing.
comedic man. No, he said, people are going to go nuts over this version of Deadpool. And the executives were like, yeah. And he was like, no. You've misread the way I said that. Maybe my inflection was wrong. People are going to go nuts because this is bad.
I'm employing my trademark two guys and a girl in a pizza place sarcasm there. I said people are going to go nuts over it.
Why would they do it like this, though? Way to play to none of his strengths at all. The studio really thought they were doing something with this. And the diamond eyes, I saw a behind-the-scenes thing. It's like, well, the diamond eyes, like the Deadpool's like...
Because
got laser eyes,
I think they went, okay, we're collecting mutant DNA for the pool, the Deadpool.
I get it
I
now.
think people were like, I think the executives thought, well, that'll be really clever, and people will like that we've worked backwards.
Yeah.
But I think they are wrong because they're always wrong.
I think it's really good, actually, that they thought about it a little bit. And also, the way he's controlled. It's like one of those old... like text command video games.
I have a note here. It just says terrible UI design on the control device for Deadpool. So you have to type out decapitate if you want him to decapitate a guy.
DECAP.
What if you're in a hurry and you do a typo? Get your IT guy to make a decapitate button.
Hotkey.
Or
make it F7.
Or do it like 1990s point and click adventure style. Use big sword on Wolverine. I don't understand.
Nonsense.
Terrible. Also, if you have a flawless mind control chip that you can install in somebody,
I want it.
Maybe put it in Wolverine. You
Yeah.
know? Or maybe just talk about him in another room where he can't hear you planning to betray him.
Weren't they in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, this worked, but he's asleep, which is bad. We should kill him. What are we doing? Oh, he's awake.
Let's erase the memory of his girlfriend. Let's do that.
Yeah.
He'll be cool with that.
He will be cool
Hey,
with
man,
it.
are you cool with that? You cool with that? He's mad now. Why is he mad?
He's running around. He's running around. He's nude.
I thought I, as a Weapon X executive, would have his number, but I don't. He's mad at me. It's almost like I'm dumb. I'm an executive who's dumb. I don't get it.
Oh, one of my notes just says nude Jackman. There
Nude Jackman, pretty good. Yeah, that's a good rhyme. One of my notes just says lessons learned from a kindly old couple at least half a century younger than you.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think they wanted a Ma and Pa Kent. They wanted an Aunt May.
Well, there's somebody special. We can talk about it in trivia.
Are they?
It's so exciting. I can't even wait to tell you. But
Okay.
we'll all have to wait for it, Mason.
Okay. But then how do we explain how he never interacts with them ever again? Let's have him get mown down by a sniper.
Big explosions too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also the action just isn't really great. A lot of really obvious wire work. Agent Zero, I guess, is a fun idea that's kind of executed poorly. Deadpool, like, cutting up bullets is nothing when he's Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
I can't with any of this. The stuff on top of the big smokestack or whatever it is, that's not bad. Like they're fighting back to back and he's teleporting in and out. I like that idea, but again, it's a bit too late in the game. Yeah, and the ending. It's weird that after everything exploded and Wolverine was like, "I'm leaving," Stryker's like, "Now's the time to attack." You should leave, man.
I have a logistical question. And look, it's probably negated by the fact that X-Men continuity is all over the place and it ultimately does not matter. But I mean, if nowhere else, this is the place to really lock this down.
Yeah.
So Stryker can't kill Wolverine.
No.
But he can wreck his memories like scrambling an egg.
Yeah.
So how he does this is he shoots him twice in the head with adamantium bullets. Now, my question is, does Logan then have 2 permanent bullet holes in his skull? Could you like incapacitate him doing like a Three Stooges eye poke? You just stick
Through his eyeballs.
No, you just stick him through the holes in his skull.
Ah.
He's got 2 forehead holes. You could just poke him in there.
I assume the bullets were lodged.
Oh no, they have to go through to his brain.
So they're just rattling around in his brain.
They're either permanently lodged in his brain or did they come out the other side? So he's got 4 permanent bullet holes in his skull.
He does whistle when he runs.
Might be it. Somebody must know. Somebody on the production side.
You'd think so.
I don't think they've ever thought about this.
No, absolutely not.
Because, like, how would the adamantium heal over his skull? You know what I mean?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
No, sorry, you're right. It's a great question.
It's a great question.
Yeah. What else do you have in terms of notes?
That's it.
Oh. Professor X is in this as well. He shows up looking like a cartoon. And then all the X-Men kids run towards the cartoon helicopter. And on a dreadful looking green screen.
Oh, yes.
Don't even put that in. You see Professor X, you cut back to the students, and you're just like, oh, they're safe. They're with Professor X. Who can walk? What year is this set? Is this before or after the flashback in X-Men 3?
This is sort of set in the 80s, right?
It's sort of set in the 80s.
Because the original X-Men movie, like the 2000 X-Men movies, they're set in the near future.
They start in like 2005-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So this movie is set maybe in the 80s.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in the X-Men First Class continuity...
we get
that's
past
the
that.
60s.
But then there's an X-Men movie where they revisit Weapon X and Wolverine is in there. And I know the timeline has been scrambled like an adamantium brain. But does that mean they recaptured him and put him in the facility and put the computer on him? Or
this time we've connected his brain directly to a Nintendo DS.
Oh, no, wait, he was captured in Days of Future Past at the end or something.
Well...
Or he wasn't?
don't know.
God,
it doesn't. It doesn't
matter.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter. Yeah.
We also got a post-credit scene in this, but we got a different post-credit scene in Australia, if you recall correctly.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. So we didn't get the decapitated Headpool moment. We got Wolverine drinking in Japan, and he goes, "I don't have any memories."
Yeah.
We got the shitty one. I mean, they're both not great, but
The only thing I remember is I love the taste of Foster's beer.
I guess the implication being that the next one will be set in Japan, and it is, but it's not a direct sequel to
No,
this.
it's decades later.
Yeah.
And if I recall the post-credit sequence of the next one, it has another kind of narrative thread that is carried over into the next X-Men movie, but not really. Again, there's the weird decade break or decades break. We'll get to it. We'll get to it next week, I hope.
Absolutely. Anyways, it's time for our regularly occurring segment. It happens every week. It's called Thoughts and Prizes.
It doesn't happen every week.
It's the return of Thoughts and Prizes, Mason. This is an opportunity for you, Mason, and the watchers and listeners of this video to hear some of my thoughts and win fantastic prizes.
What are the prizes?
What do you mean?
What are the prizes?
The prizes will be revealed when you win.
Interesting.
We've been through this. We go through it every week.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get through your defenses here. Like, this is a whole. It doesn't feel like a scam.
Yeah.
It's something, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's something.
Yeah.
Just like the prizes. They're real. And there's something, yeah. Here's some of my thoughts. When all the logs rolled on Wolverine, I said out loud, Logan.
Nice. That's good. That's actually a good thought.
Yes.
Does that get me any closer to prizes?
Ooh.
Saying your thoughts
It
are good?
hasn't hurt it, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, all right.
I liked the bit where he does his little nudie run across the farm. That was fun.
Nude Jackman. That's probably where that note comes from.
Yeah.
Do you think he did it full nude, or do you think he did like...
No, they do the flesh-covered sock or whatever.
Interesting.
That's generally what they do.
That's gross. Where do they get the flesh from?
That's not part of my thoughts and prizes. I don't have that information.
Okay.
Now, I did have an answer before when you were like, does he have adamantium stuff rattling around in his brain, etc. We see an X-ray of his skeleton.
Oh, an X-ray.
In the first X-Men movie, and there's no holes in it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're just lodged in there.
Interesting.
I don't know, though.
That would mean if you tap the back of his head hard enough, they would pop out.
They might fall out, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a moment where Stryker...
You do that prank on him and you put the coin, push the coin on his head and he keeps tapping and then 2 bullets come out. You'd be like, Christ on a bike.
When Wolverine becomes a lumberjack, Stryker turns up and goes, "You haven't aged a day. It's been 6 years, man. You all look exactly the same." Weird thing to say. I think Stryker at the end would need a bath because it would feel good on his feet, would feel much better. Can you imagine having a bath after that? Like a nice warm bath?
I reckon it'd sting a bit.
Yeah, it'd sting initially, but you put some Epsom salts in there.
Okay,
That'd be all right, yeah. Also, this needs to be mentioned. The game is good that this is based on.
Oh, yeah.
The game that is based on this movie is good. It's a good game. It's kind of God of War-esque. We've done a video on it on this channel, but yeah, it's worth playing if you want a better version of this movie. Let me have a look. No prizes, sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. God, you're having a bad run, aren't you?
I think I'm having a pretty good run.
I mean, if you had a good run, you would have won a prize.
Okay.
It doesn't normally take this long for somebody to win a prize. Something must be wrong with this. No, I'm just looking at the system and everything seems to be in order.
There's a system, okay.
Yeah.
We're developing some clues here. Okay.
No clues. It's all very transparent. Yeah, you get it.
I don't get it.
You get it. Anyway, it's time for X-Men Origins Trivia. Trivia Origins whatever. Scott Adkins.
Triverine?
What?
Triverine.
We could use that for next week.
Okay, great.
Make a note.
Okay.
Somebody make a note.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Remember to say Triverine next time.
Scott Adkins doubles for Deadpool in the climax because Ryan Reynolds was busy working on another movie.
Oh, so Scott Adkins, he's a stunt performer. He's an actor as well.
I think he was Ben Affleck's Batman stunt.
He's the big boy. He's the big boy in John Wick 4.
He is a big boy. Yeah. The close-ups of Ryan Reynolds are filmed, like of his face and whatever, and everything else is not him. The old couple that Logan befriends, their names are Travis and Heather Hudson. They are the civilian names of Guardian
Alpha Flight.
Vindicator, that's right. The leaders of the Canadian superhero group Alpha Flight. Wolverine's...
I mean, not anymore.
No.
Also, you'd think they'd see him and go, oh, you got superpowers like us.
I know
We're an Alpha Flight.
And we've been on the same team, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think that.
Yeah.
No, it's just a fun reference that nobody got, including you.
That's great.
Despite knowing.
They don't say their names.
Well, exactly. So why do it? What's the point?
To kill them.
Yeah.
To upset people.
Yeah. Wolverine's log cabin in the wilderness was constructed on a hillside in New Zealand. Unfortunately, because of the very noisy and high winds, the set had to be dismantled and rebuilt in studio. Just a big waste of money, that is. Good for you. Logan gets his signature jacket.
Oh, hell yeah.
From the old man in the bar. Barn. He's an Alpha Flight. However, he leaves it in Gambit's plane before the film's climax.
How's he get it back for X-Men 1 then?
Well, director Gavin Hood suggests that he would later have another run-in with Gambit and he would give him his jacket. He'd be like,
That's great.
You left your jacket. And he'd go, what jacket? Oh, you've lost your memories, but we've did an adventure.
Yeah, you got this. You told me you got this from the 2 members of Alpha Flight. But they were old and they'd never been superheroes and they got shot in the head. No, not doing a superhero thing, just in a barn.
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that the director had to answer that question.
Yeah.
That question was presented to him and he had to go, I can't just
Gambit
go.
held on to it.
Yeah, I can't just go, I don't care and you shouldn't care either. You've wasted your life, person asking this question.
The first person that Wolverine would have remembered is Gambit. Because that's when he came to. He sees Gambit. And Gambit's like, let's go. Chris Hemsworth and Alden Ehrenreich auditioned for the part of Remy LeBeau / Gambit.
Like as in 2 guys in a trench coat?
Yeah, they did it together.
Well, they would have worn the signature Gambit trench coat, wouldn't they?
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
And Hugh Jackman earned $25 million for this movie. And he did a big workout.
Must be nice.
Here's some footage of him working out.
On top of his piles of money?
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
He was lifting it all. Lifting it all up. Now, in terms of box office, it had a budget of $150 million, and the return was 373.1. But of course, as mentioned, a bootleg copy of this movie was leaked online before release. It had no watermark, it had unfinished alternate visual effects, and different font in the credits.
Oh boy.
I know. It was downloaded about 4.5 million times. People say that it did contribute to this not having as high a box office as X-Men 3, but this still did very well, regardless of it being a bad movie and it was leaked. Also, if you want to know the full story of that, I've done a video on it.
Ooh.
It's called The Time X-Men Origins Wolverine Was Stolen. It's a
how'd you come up with that name? How'd you come up with that name?
It's the first thing I thought of.
How'd you come up with that name?
It's the first thing I thought of.
Okay, that's actually a good idea. Yeah. And it
explains in the title.
Explains in the title. It's very self-explanatory.
It's a fascinating story. I mean, a guy goes to jail for it.
Oh God, was it me?
Yeah, it will be you.
No.
Your trial's coming up. There's a guy who worked at Fox, and 20th Century Fox, of course, made this movie, who did a review of it before it came out and went, it was easy, I downloaded it online.
That's right.
And he got fired. It's a whole thing. And anyway, you're able to trace the source back to how it happened. And it's all in that video.
Was Hugh Jackman the whole time?
Partially, yes.
Oh no!
Yeah. Anyways.
He should be in prison.
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
I agree. Hugh Jackman
or he should be in a museum next to Ned Kelly's armor and Far Left's heart because he's our hero.
He is. I feel like Hugh Jackman going to prison would be like the time Paddington went to prison. Like he'd change the whole vibe of it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
They'd put on a show.
They would. Anyways, if you enjoy these videos, you can enjoy them early.
You can enjoy them.
But you can enjoy them early at bigsandwich.co. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Wolverine and then Logan over the next few weeks. Those videos always go up there early. But in addition to that, we do video game Let's Plays. We recently did one on the X-Men arcade game. We do movie commentaries. We've got one coming up on the original X-Men, but we've also done a bunch of other X-Men movie commentaries on there. We do a comic book club.
That's right.
Recently, we looked at Old Man Logan.
Ooh.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, Mason.
That's right.
There's so many content there.
There's so many content. It's crazy over there.
It's $9 a month. It helps support this, keeps it all ad-free.
That's right.
In terms of, sponsors, etc.
Now, Logan, obviously very well regarded. It's a classic.
Yeah.
The Wolverine, I remember enjoying
Me too.
when it came out, but I haven't watched it since it came out.
I like the bit where the Silver Samurai suit opens up and it goes, I'm an old man, I want to be young. Give me your bones.
That's right.
That's what I remember.
I'm going to stick this thing in your bones. I'm going to get all your bone juice out. And it'll be my bone juice.
Yeah,
and I'll be young again.
Woo! Yeah. Anyways, thank you to Lawrence for the edit.
Thank you, Lawrence.
And we'll see you all on the next one.
For Update Jamie, guys. We'll see you next week.
Oh, we have a podcast, Weekly Planet.
I mentioned it earlier.
Don't worry about it then. This won't make the cut.
Great.